And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win in any marketplace. That is the goal of our show. Almost 6 years on air now, helping you as your number one consumer advocate, Tampa Bay's Gulf Coast region. And we want to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone because at some point we're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Save that number in your phone and think of us as a resource. We want to be that super connector for you, and it really is our network, is our net worth around here at the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm the host of the show and also the owner of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. We check out our website as well. We've got all of our expert contributors listed on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there, their contact information, their website, all their information at consumerqb.com. Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio today. Kevin Fiske, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you. So, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, FDIC lender, and basically what that means, licensed in all 50 states. And beautiful program that we have going right now is no money down. There's something called the Genoa Fund.
Nice.
Basically, whether it's FHA, whether it's conventional, the client will get the funds for closing, the required down payment. So
I love it.
In a nutshell, no money out of pocket, just sign and you own a home.
I love it. We're going to go dive deeper on that and all the other programs that they offer as well. And also back in studio, my man, the attorney, family law attorney, Joe Cairns, back in studio. Welcome in, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. I'm Joe Cairns, a family law attorney in the Tampa Bay area. What family law means is that means I do divorces, paternity cases, custody, time sharing, child support, all of those very fun things that people have to go through from time to time. I help you navigate through that process.
Awesome. Yeah, good stuff. And kind of a something to ponder here is, do you think, to our listeners, our viewers out there in our TV show as well, would you think that the divorce rate goes down with the second marriage and down with the third marriage? Stay with us. We're going to talk about that in the show here. Do you think the divorce rate goes down as you get married once, twice, or the third time, maybe the fourth or fifth time? We've got some stats on that. Interesting on what I actually thought it would be different. But our official hotel partner is the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island. A beautiful hotel on the beach. By the way, they've got a Super Bowl party going on as well. The Bilmar Beach Resort, Gulf Boulevard, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought after destinations in all of Tampa Bay for many years. And check them out. Let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Whether you're planning a vacation, a staycation, a wedding, or a business trip, check out the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island. It's the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got a couple of hot listings. As you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP Team over in Clearwater, Keller Williams office. We've got a hot commercial listing, 207 Coronado Drive. This is in Clearwater Beach. Now, right across the street from the Wyndham Grand, the Twin Towers of the Wyndham Grand, $100 million property. My property's for sale right across the street. It's listed at $3.5 million. Commercial asset. Great opportunity for a liquor store or, many combinations of different types of businesses. Great opportunity. Beautiful, beautiful area. And the number one beach in the world, Clearwater Beach. And we also have another commercial opportunity in St. Petersburg. This one is 7424 4th Street North over in St. Petersburg. This is a commercial. It's a gas station, corner lot. You have a convenience store as well as 3 bays as far as a mechanic shop as well. Great opportunity at $795,000. And it is a beautiful corner lot, high traffic area, and one of the busiest areas in the area in Tampa Bay. 4th Street North, very popular place, just north of downtown St. Petersburg. And great hot properties here in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, let's jump right into it. We got Kevin Fiske in the house, and mortgage expert contributor for our show. And I love this Genoa fund. This is something I really just pounding that drum on for renters. You know, renters are throwing their money away. They're paying 30 to 40% more than they would have to if they would qualify or when they qualify for a home. And they're going to build a better legacy. And then, you know, now with these 100% programs coming back, it's just a great opportunity to leave a better legacy for your family, Kevin.
Absolutely. For example, the FHA, typically it's 3.5% down. And instead of the client having to come out of pocket with that, this fund will allow them several options. So there's a variety of programs, but in a nutshell, it is for that person, that buyer that does not have the funds to put the money down. The fund will take care of it.
I love it. You couple that with some seller concessions where a good realtor will understand how to negotiate those seller concessions in the deal. And what that's going to do is it's going to help you come out of pocket with little to no down. Literally, people can get into the home with no money out of pocket. And then also after making 36 monthly payments, tell them what happens.
Yeah, 36 monthly on-time payments, that 3.5% down goes away.
I mean, that's strong.
They don't have to repay that. So it shows as a second mortgage initially, but they just make those payments and like you said, it's gone. Woo!
I mean, that's amazing. You know, that's something that could literally change somebody's life. It could change their whole, their outlook on life, their attitude, their self-concept, their self-worth. If they're paying rent, $1,500 rent, breaking that down. And that's what we offer here. We'll offer a rent versus analysis here in just a moment. But what that'll do, it'll tell you how you can save, build up equity in a home. Versus throwing your rent money away. And some people say, well, you're not really throwing rent money away. You're paying your landlord's mortgage, but there's so much more to the equation.
Yes, create wealth. Create wealth instead of making your landlord rich.
That's right. So you're building up equity every month. When you make that payment, you're paying down your mortgage principal balance. Okay, and we all know the word amortization, right? It's from the Latin. It means to die slow, right? The word amortization, to die slow. So what happens is these lenders, especially if you go 30 year, 15 years, a little bit better in terms of how much money goes toward principal versus interest. But in the very beginning, it's just round numbers. It's something like $950 going to interest, and then maybe $50 going to principal. Right. But as you pay those down, maybe you consider a bi-weekly payment program to get that extra payment in per year. You're building up equity faster. You have tax advantages. There's so many ways that this will help you live a better life. Plus, if you own the house, you can get away with throwing cool parties and stuff from time to time.
Right. There you go.
If you're renting, you might get kicked out.
That's true. Absolutely.
You never know. So you're also, so the 100%, let's do this then for the renters out there. This is, again, we have a really place in our heart here for these renters. I feel like they're getting taken advantage of in this market. And that's what we want to do. We want to be the watchdog and help people as your consumer advocate. Renters, you're paying 30 to 40% more than you should. We want to help you get into home ownership. We're going to help you. We're going to pay for your appraisal as well. If you work with us, work with our team, Kevin Fiske, Rob, and his team over at Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. So let's do this. We're going to do a rent versus own analysis. Okay, so all you have to do is text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to our consumer advocate hotline. Just text the word rent to 813-670-7372. Text the word rent, 813-670-7372. Text rent and the amount of rent that you're paying. What we're going to do is we're going to set you up with what they call a rent versus own analysis. Now, Kevin, can you explain what will happen on the back end of that text message once they get it, once they send that in?
Actually, what we can do is take a look at it, breaking it down with a mortgage calculator to make the determination of how much, just like you said, how much of what they're paying now, all of that's going away. So first of all, right out the gate, 10 years from now, their rent, no way it stays the same.
Right.
So they're going to, for that same house, they're going to have to pay more and more year after year when they renew that lease. However, when they lock themselves into a mortgage, that mortgage payment remains the same.
Yes.
So huge savings. But then what we can do is we can take analysis of what they're paying and break it down and show them the savings that they would have, rent versus rent versus purchase.
Yes, absolutely. So text the word rent to our hotline, or if you're not a texter, maybe you're driving, just go to consumerqb.com. That's our website. Submit the form. There's an email form there on our website. Submit the form that will come through just like an email to myself, my team, and we're going to make sure we get back to you before our head hits the pillow. We're going to put you in touch with our team, Kevin and Rob over there. They're going to, take care of you. You're going to get the white glove treatment. We're going to make sure we help you with, all those questions. And a lot of times people might say the next thing is credit. What about my credit?
Well, with credit, the beautiful thing is we're going to take the time and go over it with the client from start to finish, soup to nuts. And another thing that we do is free credit repair. So it doesn't really matter exactly where they're at. We'll put a plan together, step by step together, where we get them from where they're at today to, just like you said, helping that renter get into a home.
Love it. Love it. It's going to be a better life, a better legacy for you, and again, you're locking in those low rates of today. Again, we've known the rates have gone up a little bit over the last 18 months, 12 months, but we're still relatively low. If you think about it, we're still probably at 20 to 30 year lows. We're not up to the 7s and 8s and 9%. We're not quoting a certain APR here, so we don't want the mortgage police coming after us, but we're still a relatively friendly environment.
For sure. And actually yesterday, the Federal Reserve announced that they're going to hold the rate steady for a little bit longer. None of us have a crystal ball to tell you exactly what it's going to do.
Right.
But because of how strong the economy is, eventually they have no choice. They'll have to slide it up a little more until to fight inflation. That's what that boils down to.
That's right. Yeah, it's constant a balancing game there, trying to make sure everything's staying in a nice even balance, an even flow, nice considerable growth. And that's the thing with Tampa Bay is we're appreciating here. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Palm Harbor, Bradenton. We're still appreciating. We've got lots of people moving here, of course, from the north. And stay with us right here, Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from our expert contributors. We also have our feel-good story of the day. Cemetery invites public to funeral for veteran who died alone. Boy, did they show up. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, also the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Now, we're really excited about our move over to the Keller Williams team and just making a lot of big moves. We got our buyer-seller seminar coming up in just the end of the month here. We got the buyer-seller seminar. It's going to be on the 28th, and it's going to be a great time. It's going to be over at Cox Media Group. That's 1025 The Bone Studio over at 4th Street North in St. Petersburg, sponsored by Total Title Solutions, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. Snoop Inspection's going to be there. We're going to have the Snoop Dogg in the house. Jay Smith, he's our inspection partner. William Crowley, the credit magician. Aaron Foley, who's a buyer specialist. He's going to be talking about the buyer side of the transaction. So all you need to know about credit, mortgage, title, inspections, and more going to be on the 28th of the month, February 28th, 6 to 8 p.m. RSVP on Eventbrite or our website, consumerqb.com. Just let us know. It's a free event. All you have to do is let us know that you want to be there so we can save a seat for you. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. And Brothers Easy Moving is the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And they strive to be the very best Tampa Bay moving company by exceeding your expectations. And they are one of the best reviewed Tampa movers as well. Where Google, they hold a 4.6 rating, the highest in the Tampa Bay area. Also an A rating on the Better Business Bureau, Angie's List, and a 4.5 rating on Yelp. And they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give them a call. Let them know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we're back here in studio. We're helping you win. Got a hot listing over on Clearwater Beach, 1370 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 401. This is the Bella Rosa condo, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,200 square feet, gorgeous corner end unit, and it is listed at $1.12 million. $1.12 million. Beautiful property. Of course, it's right on the beach, tennis courts, pool, spa. So much to offer on beautiful Sand Key, one of the best areas in all of Clearwater Beach. 5506 Dallas Way is another Hillsborough property, beautiful property on River Hills Country Club, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, $540,000, almost 3,500 square feet. And it's a one-owner home that is sure to impress. And it's a gorgeous property. Now, the owner of this property is actually a commercial builder. So he built his own home to the highest of standards. And there are no shortcuts taken at 5506 Dallas Way, Valrico, beautiful Hillsborough County property here in Tampa Bay. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, let's jump right into it. We got attorney Joe Cairns in the house. We're going to talk family law, divorce, and it's interesting, as you know, we were talking before the show. You know, I thought that with your second marriage, maybe it's a little bit longer. You took more time to consider it. You know, the first one, you're just kind of, let's get married, you know, early 20s. Who knows what the average time. But we actually pulled the statistics, and it was interesting what you came up with, Joe.
Well, first off, I love that the moving company is the one that's sponsoring this segment. And then we're going to talk about divorce.
There you go.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But yes, the divorce rates on a national average, and it varies in different locales as well, but the national average for the first marriage is 50%. Then it goes up to 67%, which is roughly 2/3 of all of those marriages. Wow. And then 74% after on the third one. So
I guess maybe, you know, okay, now that I think about it and the data's kind of set in, is maybe it's those people are prone to disagreement in the first place because they didn't make their first marriage work. And I'm in that bucket myself. I didn't, you know, my first marriage didn't work.
Part of it is, yes, people in their second marriage feel like they're correcting mistakes.
Right.
Like that they had in the first one. Sometimes you then create new mistakes. You have different personalities.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get together very quick. Some people just can't be alone.
Right.
And then they just run into something because they were used to being with someone for a long time.
Yes.
But really, my clients that come to me when they're going through their first divorce are petrified.
Yeah.
They're scared. They don't know what the process looks like. It's just one big black abyss that they're staring into. And then once we start going through it, they understand that this isn't like a punitive process, that our goal is to make sure both sides are at least okay,
right?
You know, based on the rules and regulations that we have to abide by. When you're going through your second marriage or your second divorce and you're contemplating it, you're like, I've already been through it. I know what that process looks like. It doesn't have to be completely arduous.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a lot of clients that when they even go through their first one, like, well, you're never going to see me again. And if there's any divorce attorneys out there listening, you know that those are famous last words.
Come on, man.
That's what you want to say, right? Yeah, you want to be like, come on, man. Yeah, it's interesting, when you look at that, and when you have the dynamics, and a lot of people going into it with the mentality of, oh, I want to hire a bulldog, and that's really not the best way. You want to have almost like a collaborative approach as much as you can.
Yeah, a collaborative approach, and there's actually collaborative attorneys. There's divorce attorneys out there that are actually, they do a collaborative process. It's a little different. It's not litigious based at all. In fact, if it's going to become litigious, they're supposed to bow out, and then you get new attorneys that are going to handle this. They bring in a bunch of experts. We try to, if there's kids and things like that, maybe we need a forensic CPA if there's businesses and those types of things.
Right.
But even if you're just going to file and you're going to hire an attorney to do this, we're trying to solve a problem.
Right.
We're not trying to create new ones.
Yes.
Because if you have the bulldog attorney, okay, you might win on some things.
Mhm.
Because personally, I don't think there is a win necessarily in divorce.
Good point.
There's just better results than others. But ultimately, you're going to cause a lot of stress because all those hearings are going to be extremely fraught with, mudslinging back and forth.
Right.
And you got a judge who's been sitting there listening to this all week, and then you're going to come in there and you're going to, sling mud at the other side, rightly or wrongly.
Right.
And their eyes are just going to roll into the back of their head. They're going to make the decision, but they're going to make the decision based on the two of you screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, go co-parent your kid after we've spent the last 2 hours tearing each other down.
Yeah, it's tough.
It can be difficult. So you actually have to do the reverse. You have to seem like you're the calm, cool, and collected person, not the I'm on fire because I'm mad.
Yes.
And I need to make sure the other side has to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes with age. The more that you figure out the game in life and business and relationships, it's like keep your emotions to a minimal. Don't let them see the emotions on your side because they're just going to use them to your disadvantage in a lot of cases. I just read a really cool book, Negotiating as If Your Life Depended on It. It was written by a former FBI hostage negotiator. And the subtitle is How to Talk Your Way Into or Out of Anything. Great book. Never Split the Difference is the name. Chris Voss. Great book. But he talks about how in that process of negotiation, you never really, like when he first got he came out of a meeting, or he came out of a call. He was on like the suicide hotline helping somebody, and he just thought he nailed it and he said the senior that was like managing him said, that was the worst call I've heard. And he thought he did well. He said, but I did good. And he complimented. He said, no, what you want to do when you come out of a negotiation, you want the other side to feel like they won, like it's their idea and they won. When, I think so much of our human mentality is like coming up with the opposite of that.
Oh, it's just, think about it even in sports. If like in high school and stuff, they don't let you spike the football.
Right.
Because they're younger kids. They have more of a motive response to things. If you spike the football in front of them, they're just going to get mad. Yeah. So sometimes you're right. In the negotiation, there'll be some times where my client's expectations are actually set at a reasonable level and the other side concedes. But they're angry. They think they're getting taken, even though in reality, they're probably about where they should be.
Right.
I'll tell clients, look grim.
Yeah.
When we're walking out of there, don't look like great.
Right.
This is what I thought was going to happen, and now it's finally happening.
That's right.
That could be a big problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're talking with Joe Cairns. He's a local family attorney, divorce attorney here in the Tampa Bay area. Offices in Largo, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, Largo, just south of Clearwater. In fact, the Clearwater Courthouse is only like 5 minutes north of me.
That's right. Yeah, right off of Fort Harrison and
Clearwater Largo Road in West Bay.
Yeah. So, divorce attorney, longtime friend of the program here. So he's given, the idea of a collaborative approach, and then when it comes down to it, if you have to be tough, you have to be tough. And when it comes to that,
many times I'll tell my clients, I hope the other side gets an attorney, because if I have someone who doesn't have one, they have no idea what the process looks like, what the rules are, what the expectations should be. I have to drag them all the way to a final hearing.
Yeah.
If they have an attorney, most of the time I know them because there's only so many of us crazy enough to do this for a living full time. We can talk and say, okay, what's she saying? Okay, I'm not hearing that story. This is what I'm getting from my side.
Right.
And then we kind of start through the discovery process, figuring out really where the truth is, which is usually in the middle.
In the middle.
And then we say, okay, this makes the most sense.
Yes.
And then we talk with our clients about these are the options. This is what we think might happen.
Right.
And we can never guarantee anything, but we can at least get the conversation going
Yeah.
and start setting where the expectation should fall.
That's right.
Yeah, because my favorite quote, Mike Tyson, everyone's going to get a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
So you can say, oh, this is everything that's going to happen, as if there's going to be no counterbalancing actions on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, another boxer, Floyd Mayweather, he's always the counter puncher.
Mhm.
He wants to let them throw, and then he's going to counter on that. So, yes.
And you want to avoid that fight altogether.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Make it collaborative as much as you can. Think about the kids. Think about the end result. Keep the end result in mind. Let's have a collaborative approach here. Reach out to Attorney Joe Cairns. More from Joe coming up later in the show, as well as Kevin Fiske in studio, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. Stay with us right here. Don't touch that dial. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram, at Brandon Rhymes1 on Twitter. We've got the Consumer Quarterback Show pages on Facebook out there. And when we come back, Cemetery invites public to funeral for a veteran who died alone. And boy, did they show up. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show and owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. And we've got a great team of buyer agents as well. And we want to help you win in any marketplace. That is our goal. And reach out. There's lots of ways that we can connect you to all of the best experts in all of Tampa Bay. That's what we set this show up for, to be your consumer advocate and help you sort through a lot of the nonsense out there in the mainstream media. Avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that is so prevalent in our community. We want to help you with that, and reach out. We'd love to be a resource for you, no matter what you're facing out there. I mean, we've got attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, all types of home services, home-related services, solar technologies, health, nutrition, lots of ways we can help you right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. This segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill, our restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. It is a restaurant, delicatessen. How do you pronounce that again? Delicatessen. I'm off on that one. New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets. The Lucky Dill, the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. It's home of these huge sandwiches. It's on Boy Scout Boulevard right here in Tampa. They've got an office location, or they got a location for a restaurant on 19 in Palm Harbor, and it is excellent food, man. They've got some great stuff going on over there. All types of sandwiches. You got the flatbreads, you got burgers, they got nice soups, wraps, croissants, bakery in studio there. Lots of great Reubens. Check them out. Make sure you let them know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill, Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, US 19 in Palm Harbor. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win. We've got attorney Joe Cairns in studio and Kevin Fiske as well. He's an expert contributor in the mortgage space. Want to let you know about a couple of hot listings before we jump back into this great content. 206 Mariner is a ground floor unit over in Tarpon Springs. Ground floor unit, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Furnished is an option for you. If it could be furnished if you'd like. A great opportunity in Tarpon Springs. Walk down the road and you're looking at the beautiful waterways. All right, taking you back to Hillsborough County, 4613 South Matanzas Avenue in Tampa. 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath. You have a half bath as well, listed at $729,000, 3,276 square feet. A spacious 4-bedroom home. Just a quick walk over to Bayshore Boulevard to enjoy all that South Tampa has to offer. Split floor plan, beautiful home, actually owned by one of the local Tampa Bay Buccaneers, former Buccaneer and radio celebrity in Tampa Bay, Ian Beckles and his wife. So 4613 South Matanzas Avenue, another hot real estate property, compliments of Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. All right, let's jump right into it. Kevin Fiske. So, Kevin, thanks for your service as a veteran of our military and all that you guys do for us. My dad was an MP in the Army as well back in the day. But let's talk about veteran loans, because I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, the benefits that are there for them, 100% financing options. Veterans, man, they serve our country, and that's the one thing that nobody can say our government's done wrong. They can pick on some other stuff, but the mortgage programs are great.
Absolutely. The VA loan, first of all, I am passionate, very passionate about that. And I appreciate you saying thank you for my service. Thank you for the paychecks while I served in
Absolutely.
service.
Yeah, man.
So VA loans, hottest product out there for the veteran. The challenge is, believe it or not, 70% of veterans that qualify for that have no idea that program's even out there.
Wow.
Only 30% basically have taken advantage. In a nutshell, what it is 100% financing with no mortgage insurance.
Wow.
And Mutual of Omaha, we believe in giving back to the troops to the point where there is no bank fee, there is no lending fee.
Yeah.
So a little bit of seller concession for the fees to the title company and whatnot.
Yeah.
By the realtor.
Yep.
And again, someone's just signing and they own the home.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's a great program. And if you don't understand how that works, we would love to walk you through that process. Something else that we'll do at Platinum MVP, we will offer a 1/4 to 1/2 point discount back to you at closing as a realtor rebate. So we're basically reaching into our pocket, taking commissions and giving it back to the veteran to help them, again, with just less money out of pocket, little to no money at all coming out of pocket, depending on how you structure the deal, Kevin.
And we'll pay for the appraisal for them as well. So
Nice.
It's just a fantastic deal. Beats beats conventional, FHA, the Chenoa Fund.
Yes.
If you're a veteran, give us a call. Give
Yeah.
us a call.
Now, outside of the VA type loans, you also do the conventional, the USDA, all those other types of programs, I'm assuming.
We do.
Yeah.
We actually have what's called non-QM as well, where basically, let's say you have someone that's self-employed. A lot of times on their tax return, that bottom line number, because any person that owns their own business, they're going to try to take every tax deduction, rightfully so.
Sure.
But that bottom line net number is going to be so small that you're not going to qualify. So we have programs out there. One, for example, is using bank statements. So we can get a letter from the CPA showing what their expense ratio is. We'll review their deposits for a year to 2 years. And all of a sudden, what goes from an unqualified buyer to an absolutely qualified buyer. Just one example. We have foreign national. We have investor programs. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's even though the market as a whole with what's out there, I mean, it is becoming a challenge to find the right home. That's why it's so critical that they find someone like you and your organization to help find the right home. But there are some programs out there with the non-QM in addition to what everyone normally thinks conventional, FHA, USDA, and so on.
Yeah.
So
non-QM, so it's non-qualified mortgage, meaning, somewhat of a non-prime type thing. We want to stay away from the subprime word, but it's, because we don't want those memories to come back. But, so it's alternative type stuff, like alternative A type products. Now, what exactly is a foreign national?
Foreign national would be, obviously, all of us in here, we're born in the United States, have a social security number, birth certificate. Foreign national is, let's say you have someone from Brazil that they have a visa to come here into the country, and they enjoy Southern Florida, so they'd like to buy a condo down at the beach. Well, you have them get with us, and we can put together, again, a non-qualifying mortgage. And let's avoid the subprime, like you said. It basically just means not Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or any of the other government loans.
Right.
So
yeah, that's awesome. So when it comes to financing and getting into a home, it's a confusing space. I think a lot of times most people, they just don't understand, what the down payment requirements are. They're thinking it's 20% down. And especially, again, back to those renters, I just have such a place in my heart for them. A lot of misconceptions out there.
yeah, absolutely. And so that's why the first step, Brandon, is they just need to reach out to us.
Yeah.
Reach out to us so we can basically have a discussion, what they'd like to accomplish, so that we can look at the pieces of the puzzle, just like you said earlier, credit, income, and assets. And assets, trust me, they do not have to be some giant dollar amount in your bank account.
Right.
And in fact, with the Chenoa and VA and several other options, even USDA, that's 100% as well. So there's a wide range of programs, and it's just a matter of let's have that conversation. And going back to the credit, if there's some credit glitches, let's get it fixed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's make it happen.
Mutualmortgage.com. Is that the website?
It is.
Mutualmortgage.com. So when it comes to, by the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Kevin Fiske. You may have heard Rob Fricker on the show before as well. They're partners. They work together at Mutual of Omaha mortgage company here in Tampa Bay. Local lenders, that's a big point. Support your local guys here in Tampa Bay. But yeah, so when it comes to credit, that's another area that people just have so many misconceptions. They don't understand that identity theft is at its highest peak levels in the history of planet Earth. And if they assume that their credit's clean and then they want to go start looking at houses, they're making a mistake.
Absolutely. Not only the identity theft, but believe it or not, 90% of the reports we look at have some erroneous information on there that could or could not actually impact it negatively. So they would. We encourage everyone to review their report at least annually.
Yes.
And then let's just identify those things where, okay, let's fix this first. Let's do this. It's just in most cases, just some minor tweaking that will have a severe positive impact on where they're at.
Sure. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense when you think about, the overall, economic, let's kind of take that bigger approach too. You mentioned earlier that the Fed said, hey, we're not going to raise the rates, the overnight lending rates, which affect long-term mortgage rates. What do you see happening here in 2019?
Certainly, but before this year is up, we'll see rates increase. Okay. I mean, the writing's on the wall for that because, again, the economy is strong. So, But what that means is now is the time. Anybody even remotely thinking about purchasing a home, whether it's a primary, whether it's a renter, whether it's an investor, now's the time, because the inventory is still there and the rates they're not going to go up today, but here in the future they will, which means you have more purchase power.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about the industry and where we're at as well with Tampa Bay marketplace, we're going through a bit of a shift, especially in those $500,000 properties up to $1 million properties. Those inventories are sitting longer. We're seeing more and more expired properties coming up on the MLS that did not sell. So it's shifting a little bit to a buyer's market, because it's been such a strong seller market for so long. Now we're in a position where the buyers have a little bit more flexibility. They have a little bit more bargaining power when it comes to properties on the market a little bit longer than they're normally.
Absolutely. So again, that adds into the fact that now is the time for the buyer to make that move, because the rates, if you're waiting for the rates to go down, that's not going to happen. And just like you said, if any property's sitting out there at any price point, now's the time to make the move, because they're sitting there.
That's right. All right. Stay with us, Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from attorney Joe Cairns here in studio, as well as Kevin Fiske in our lightning round coming up. And we have our feel-good story of the day. It's a good one. The cemetery invites the public to a funeral for a veteran who died alone. And boy, did they show up. Find out about this show, this story, right back when we come back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
What?
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
Technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. We'd love to help you with any of your real estate buying, selling, investing. ConsumerQB.com is our website, ConsumerQB.com. We got our buyer seller seminar coming up on the 28th as well. We'd love to see you there. It's going to cover everything from buying, selling, investing, all you need to know about credit, mortgage, inspections, title, sponsored by Total Title Solutions, A-Snoop Inspection. We're going to have William Crowley, the credit magician, there as well. And, of course, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. Buyer Seller Seminar, February 28th, 6 to 8 p.m. RSVP on Eventbrite for the February 28th event at Cox Media Group, 1025 The Bone Studio on 4th Street North in beautiful St. Petersburg. So we're back here in studio. We're helping you win. I got a hot listing in St. Petersburg, 109 18th Avenue South. This property has 8 bedrooms, 4 bath. It is a great opportunity for maybe an investor, want to rent it out. Partially renovated 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, and a detached in-law apartment, which includes 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and a 3-car garage. Listed at $529,000. A great buying opportunity for an investor in the area. Also, we have 9511 Antilles Drive in Seminole. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, got a half bath as well. 2,820 square feet. This is an estate style home, 4 bedrooms, 3 and 1/2 bath. David Weekley home on nearly a half an acre of mature landscape lot in beautiful Seminole, Florida. I love Seminole, Florida. So close to the beaches and close to a lot of things. Just a great opportunity to buy real estate here in Tampa Bay. Somewhere sunny and 75. In studio today, we got Kevin Fiske, Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. He's our mortgage expert partner, contributor on the show. Attorney Joe Cairns as well, family law, divorce attorney as well. And let's go ahead and tell you something good here in our Feel Good segment.
Tell me something good.
All right, so the cemetery invites the public to the funeral for a veteran who died alone. And boy, did they show up. Thousands of people attended the funeral of a Texas veteran who was at risk of being buried without anyone in attendance. The Central Texas State Veterans Cemetery in Killen, Texas, asked for supporters to attend the funeral of an unaccompanied veteran, Joseph Walker, in a Facebook post that went viral over the weekend. The line to get in the cemetery was miles long, and reports indicated around 5,000 to 6,000 vehicles were in line. And today, we're not strangers. Today, we are a family, said Mark George of Christian Motorcyclist Association, who officiated the funeral. Standing next to Walker's flag-draped coffin, George declared, "This is our brother, Joseph Walker. Walker served in the U.S. Air Force from 1964 to 1968. He died of natural causes in November at the age of 72. So everybody's banding
That's
together
awesome.
there, Kevin. What do you think about that one, man?
Oh, I like that. I like any positive veteran story like that. So.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Yeah, they serve our country and do so much good, man. It's tough when they die alone. That's sad.
Amen.
That's sad there. All right, back here in studio, we are helping you win. Let's go back to Attorney Joe Cairns. So Mr. Cairns, we're talking about social media in divorce cases. And, it's one of my favorite topics. We always kind of joke about it a little bit, but sometimes people take to social media, get their emotions going, again, back to emotions, and it can hurt them.
Oh yeah, and for the same reasons that you see anybody else get in trouble. They say something before they really think about what the consequences of it could be. I mean, you put this out there, you think you're basically either talking to yourself or a group of your buddies. That's not how it happens. You end up with a lot of people that are seeing this, and they might have different ideas of what you think you're saying because of the context of what you said something in.
That's right.
Or my favorite, the vague text.
Yeah.
And, it seems like it's something probably much worse than it actually is.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm seeing is all of the different social media devices that can be used to manipulate things. People are creating Facebook accounts for someone else, and then they're managing that account to basically get that person in trouble. Oh, look what he said. And then this person is completely flabbergasted. This is what happened.
Yeah.
Or then you can there's an app that can allow you to make telephone calls and go straight to voicemail. So it won't ring the phone, but it'll show that you made your attempt to make the phone call that you maybe were court ordered to do for the kid or something like that.
Wow.
Or you can text from somebody else's number, like some sort of fake text message.
Yeah.
So there's all of these little things. So I'm almost always urging my clients, like, make sure you can get your phone statements from whatever provider you have.
Right.
Because if they're playing these games and I match it up, and those things say, well, wait a second, you never sent a text at 8:35.
Right.
And it doesn't match up to the phone number that was going there. Someone's playing a game. And believe me, If the judges get wind, you're playing some big game. Your credibility is trash.
Yeah. Wow. You're gonna see. You're gonna lose that case when it comes down to it. So people can take that. You have to learn a lot about technology with what you're doing now, representing clients. So you're seeing these technology. They can make it look like it's a friend of theirs and ask them a question and have them almost blackmail themselves into a corner.
If you want to get the idea of the whole buffet of options that there are for the things that you can manipulate and play with, find a teenager between the ages of like 14 and 19. They can tell you everything that's out there.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a Snapchat or an Instagram account.
Yeah.
Some of my employees do. That's never been my thing.
Yeah.
But they can tell you all sorts of different vehicles and functions. Like
Right.
Snapchat's my favorite because they think it just disappears until you learn how to screenshot function on your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've said you had that happen in some of your cases before too.
Yeah, they tried to tell me that it wasn't admissible because, and this person did not have an attorney.
Yeah.
It wasn't admissible because it was supposed to just disappear.
Yeah.
I said, well, voila, here it is.
Here it is. Wow. Yeah. People they can really make a major mistake when it comes to technology, Facebook, even emails. Even emails you're able to.
You're better off just for that time being just shut it down.
Yeah.
Because you could be just reposting something you think is funny.
Right.
And then in the context of that dark courtroom,
Yes.
they're going to isolate it. They're not going to look at the joke that maybe you had with your friends or something like that.
Yeah.
And jokes you can tell your buddies that you never speak out loud.
Wow.
And I don't care who you are, you have.
So we're talking with attorney Joe Cairns here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Joe, what else are you seeing in that divorce space? What other advice maybe would you give?
The advice for this time of year is, and it seems like a long time away because we're talking about negative degree temperatures up north.
Right.
Most people, if they have children, they're going to move during the summer so that they're not chopping up the school year.
Yep.
If they're going to move and they're subject to some sort of like time sharing plan, or they're going through a divorce and they want to move back, it's usually back home, typically like Michigan or Ohio for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
They always want to go back. Everyone loves Dayton. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dayton people, but it's just a weird thing for me down here. But if you're going to make that call, you need to start the process in like the next 60 days, because it's not just going to snap happen unless you have agreement from the other side. And the concept of moving their kids, potentially hundreds of miles away,
Yeah.
it's not something they're going to want to agree to.
Yeah.
So then you have to make sure you have some time to get the courts involved.
Right.
Because imagine you have a job that's being set up there too.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to make that call now, and we need to get the information so that I can give you an idea of whether or not you have a shot at doing this.
Yeah.
Because
That's important.
they are a crapshoot. It's hard to say. It can be a coin flip in many cases.
Yeah. And it comes down to negotiations and the judge that you get that particular day maybe.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of mediators will tell you if you gave your set of facts to 6 different judges, you will get six different results.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's part of life. All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
All right, so back to Kevin Fiske here, mortgage expert, contributor. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom.
Tip of the day that I would suggest is anyone that's thinking about purchasing a home, don't wait till you find the home that you love.
Yes.
You need to talk to the mortgage guy, mortgage professional, so that we can look at all the pieces of the puzzle and we can discuss what your options are and put that pre-approval letter in your hands so that you can go to Platinum MVP or whatever realtor across the nation and then make a qualified offer.
That's right. Yeah, I like that first one better. But attorney Joe Cairns.
We were talking about the rate of increase on percentage of divorce when you have a second marriage.
Yes.
A vehicle is something to consider, and sometimes it'd be a very awkward conversation, is getting a prenuptial agreement if you're going to enter into your second marriage. It's likely you have kids from a previous marriage, you have businesses, you have other things that you've acquired before that marriage has happened. This way you settle all those things, and it doesn't have to be about, I don't want you to get anything if this doesn't go awry,
right.
if this goes awry, but you want to make sure that assets for your kids are protected, all those different things.
Right. Yeah,
and we handle those as well.
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that one up because, I think there's misconceptions about that. It basically, especially on a second mortgage, like you mentioned, with you've got assets already, you're coming into this second time around, you're a little bit more experienced. You want to look at it from a business perspective, almost like a business deal, like a merger.
Yeah, because you saw what the destruction looked like potentially from before. Maybe even it was an easy process, but you still have all these things.
Right.
And you're like, well, what's it going to look like if we do this? So some of the prenups can be quite simple.
Yeah.
and everyone understands. No one's mad. No one's screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And you just explain, listen, if you guys title something jointly, it's going to be joint when you guys divide it.
Right.
If you deal with it right now, then you already know who's getting what.
Yeah, and that's why an estate plan is important as well, making sure you have your estate plan in place. And
it's almost the same thing.
Very similar, right? I mean, you're thinking forward in the future of how you want that taken care of. Well, hey, another great show today. Thanks so much, Kevin Fiske. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me on.
Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, Joe Cairns, Attorney Joe Cairns. Always a pleasure speaking with you as well. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, and hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another. You can go out there and donate blood. I mean, volunteer at a food bank. There's so many ways you can do something kind and help be part of the good. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 102.5 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the Consumer Quarterback.